asked by the community to do this. But I don't consider this a charitable thing that I'm doing. I think this is what I've always done, is try to be of service to people and children who need, and their parents and their families, and when they become grown, we remember each other from time going by. And I'm still here. You know, I've heard people talk about, well, it's another generation. And my grandfather lived to be 102. I'm the third. He was senior, junior, and I'm the third. And I remember my grandfather was 100 years old. We were ribbing. I said, wow, you know, that's not your time anymore. He said, I'm still here. What the hell are you doing? I'm like giving up anything. And you have to earn it. You have to take it from it. So I am in this. I know for the right reason. I don't know why other people are in it. I won't question them. I'm not trying to defeat anybody. I'm trying to become the board member. I'm not trying to I'm not going to fall into that trap of trying to disparage other people. Unless they start a fight. If they start a fight, I'm in. I never started a fight in my life. But I don't ever remember one that I ran away from.
That's what we want to hear.
That's really heroic, because I got my butt whipped a few times. I have said this, when you whip me, you're not going to ask me for a rematch, because it's expensive to whip my body. It costs you something, you're not going to come twice and try to whip me. But this is about our salvation, our future, our emancipation. This whole community, where we are right now. We're right between Crenshaw and Dorsey, right? And those two schools still struggle. And people wonder, what are we going to do about it? They're under-enrolled. And Crenshaw and Dorsey is an outcome of what happens in the middle school and what happens in the elementary school. And we are still a people in this community that prefer to be somewhere else. Many of us enjoy getting on buses and going other places. Going west, going out of the city, going to Westchester. We're better off around other people who may not care for us at all. So our schools are supposed to work. People are asking me about, what do you think about charter schools? I don't have any problem with, I don't advocate for charter schools, but I'm not their adversary either, because charter schools are a result of dissatisfaction with the public school. And unless public school is going to work, you've got complaining about why you start a charter school. Well, fix your public school.
Yeah.
Because parents have a right to have an option for schools that don't serve their children well, as opposed to just accepting it because it just is that way in our community. We can't do any better. We can do much better, because it's a matter of policy. Policy generates resources. It generates the revenue. It generates the positions. It generates the priorities. It generates the politics. Politics is always in there. Even right now with these things talking about local school funding formulas, we still don't know how they're going to use that money. But one of the things that is interesting to me, and maybe all of you don't know a lot about that, but they're going to give money based upon 3 categories of children. And the 3 categories are foster care, foster children, English learners, and poverty. Right? Now, a child who is in all 3 of those conditions counts as one child for which the grant is given. Now, that's not really fair to us. Because if I go to a doctor and I have 3 conditions, and she goes to the doctor, she's got one of the 3 conditions that I have, and she gets the medication for her one condition, I get the one, and I still got 2 other conditions that I can't get rid of. And they tell us that's fair, because they can only treat one of your symptoms, and I qualify as one person. That almost reminds me of before I was born, but I read about 3/5 of a man. One of 4 human beings, and you got to be counted because you were somebody else's property, and the property owner was the one that got to count. You know, you count 5 slaves, and get 3 votes on it. He was only 3/5 of a man. If he owned 5 slaves, he got 3 more votes in his household to vote in the election. That's what that was all about. It kind of reminds me of that. I may not say that out loud right away, but eventually that's going to come out. Because we need to always be wary of what people are doing for us, but to us. And if you don't know they're doing it to you, you're grateful for your own oppression. You're just trying to be good instead of being right. And some of you have heard me say this, that the difference between good and right, you can see it. I rode the back of a segregated bus right there in Albany. being good meant you took your good seat in the back of the bus, because that's what the sign said, colored people. Being right meant you didn't ride at all. It's harder to be right than to be good. And when you're being good, you might just be cooperating with your own oppression, just to be good. We're going to win this election. All of you in here, now God bless you for being in here. You got to go influence some other people. It's not just you. Your votes are important, because that's what's going to win the election. All the money in the world won't have anything to do with the vote unless there's some hanky-panky going on. So when the election day comes, our community has to vote. So you've got to tell other people, if they don't have a dime, they can vote. First, they got to register to vote. Some of our signature gatherers, and I'm so glad that many of you are here, went out into the community and knocking on doors of people we expected. Well, they ought to be ready to vote. They weren't even registered to vote. I wasn't offended because they said George who. You know, that doesn't bother me. But they weren't even registered to vote. Some of them don't register to vote because they don't want to do jury duty. So they just stay off.
Oh, yeah.
Leave it alone. So we have to motivate and aggravate some of our dear friends. I say, please vote. And there's so many of you in here to call your names, but it's impossible for me to go around and call everybody. They're going to leave somebody out. But you have always been helpful to the cause that I'm fighting for. It's not just me. It's this cause that we're fighting for. And those of you who've been generous, and those of you who are going to set up other kinds of things that we can raise the revenue to compete with other people who have a lot of machinery and know how to run elections. And I've never been a candidate for anything in my life, not public elected official anyway. But I am dedicated to this. When I hear what Owen says about me, when I hear what Peter says about me, other people, it's touching to me because I never understood why I was special in any way. I just tried to do the best job I could. And I'm still trying to do the best job I can. And whatever that job is, it's like you. So I'm saying to you, and I've said this, if I get there, then you're there. If you're there, then we're there. Then we're there. Okay, you're right. When I get there, you're there. We are a family, community. It's not just one person sitting in the board. I'm not trying to get this position for my personal advancement in the political world. I don't need another job, right? I don't need any more attention. I don't need all of that stuff that people think, what if I win this one, I go to the next one. Even if I don't win, I get my name recognized. Somebody out there came on TV and said, I want to get recognized. All that, and get public attention based on television coverage. That's not going to do anything. The people do that. So we are somewhat at a crossroads now. How is the revenue that's coming down from the state of California going to affect our children in this country? And how will it be doled out? How will it be distributed? And I'll stop at and say, the major thing that I've always fought for, when I realized that it needed fighting for, was adequacy of resources. Having come from the South, we fought for equality, so we could sit next to other people who denied us opportunities. Don't even touch me. Don't swim in the same swimming pool. All this other kind of stuff, right? We fought for equality. So we got equality. We could sit next to them. We could get the same textbook they had. We could eat the same food they eat in the restaurant and all this kind of stuff. But then we realized that wasn't so great because their air conditioner didn't work any better than ours. We still So we then fought for equity. Equity meant a little bit more. A little bit more. That was called affirmative action. But that wasn't enough either, because sometimes equity is just a little bit more, but it's not sufficient. You see, if you got a race is going on, a guy's out in front of you, and you're still running, he's 100 yards ahead, and we're going to just keep on running. And he's got spikes, cleats on, track shoes on, and he's just running, and I'm barefoot. And he says, oh, you're in the race now. Yeah, I'm in the race. Let me on the track now. He said, but I have no shoes. He said, well, here's some shoes. They're flip-flops, right? He gave me one flip-flop. I said, well, that's not. Give me two. I got two, but they're still flip-flops. So he has some tennis shoes. But he still got on, track shoes. Spikes in. And if you had about a run track, it's harder to get a guy. You can't dig into the dirt. So this notion of giving me more never gets to the question of enough, adequacy. Do you really want me to catch up with you? Do you just want me to be satisfied being on the track, looking at your facts and saying, I'm so happy I'm out here looking at you in front of me. And you should be in front of me because you belong in front of me. And I belong in second place, or third place, or fourth place. This is where I belong. I'm being good. I'm on the track. I'm happy to be on the track. I've never been happy just being on the track. to show our leadership. And you can notice it when a man becomes president of the United States who looks like us, who they say he's a mountain. Because that's not a surprise to us who grew up in a situation where they tolerate him instead of accepting that he is the president of the United States. And I know I have to be tolerated sometimes because I just don't accept the nonsense. I know when I'm being oppressed. I know when I'm being lied to. I see it coming. As a matter of fact, I kind of suspect it anyway. And so I don't just go for it because other people say this is the best we can give you, this is all we can give you, but other people get other things. We look at the celebration of children in the Valley who are always in the academic decathlon competition. They fight each other for the national honor. Got about 3 or 4 schools in the Valley that are always in academic decathlon. We can't even put teams in the academic decathlon. But I was at Georgia. We came in second. We were the only guy who could push it. And got in there. Won the super quiz. I came in second overall because we would say we could compete. We could compete. A little Jewish guy. He was a hell of a little teacher. And his name was Dan Spett. I think he might have died. But he was ready to go, and I was vice principal over there. So I just refused to accept the fact that I have to look at these people that are flawed, their supremacy, how smart they are. You know, that's got nothing to do with it. That's got to do with dedication, training, commitment, focus, telling the kids to believe in themselves, that they can compete with anybody. And that's what we need to have now. I'm still concerned about the employees of the district. I'm also concerned about the parents who are being short-shrifted right now because they're eliminating all our parent series that used to be there. I want to say this. I tend to send you local control funding formula events in the school. The district is holding these. They're poorly attended. At one there were 10 people, another there was 14, another there were 9. And the other night the Urban League held one and somebody said, why is it so poorly attended? How are we going to get more people out here? Well, you're not going to get more people out there because they would be shocked if we did. And so there's no mechanism for getting the parents to help the other parents to get out. We believe that if we do this, we get the same result. And they just check off, well, we had a town hall, we had a town hall, we had a community event. Nobody came, but we had it. So we complied with having the event. But there's no expectation that we really would be there. Now, if there was a child molestation going on or fire, you can blame us for that, but you can also blame the system that says it's not a priority for them to be there. Just let's have some symbolic event and say we did it.
And they're lying about it too, George. I videoed it at Crenshaw the other night, and that guy didn't know anything, and he was lying.
Well, that's part of the process.
I know.
Information that may or may not be accurate. However,